Hello. September is over, so I'm going to be talking about the books that I read that month. I read 3 books. The first one I read was The First 4 Years by Laura Ingalls Wilder. This is book 9 and the final book in the series, so I have completed it. I read one per month, so it took me from January until September. This spans the first 4 years of Laura's marriage, building their farm, having children, etc. And I think these books just have like a cozy, warm vibe to them. They're very enjoyable. Book number 2 was House of Fortune by Jessie Burton. This is a sequel to one of my favorite books, so I was very excited for it. I liked it a lot, not as much as the first one, but I still did. And this is set in Amsterdam in 1705, and it follows a daughter who was a baby in the first book. She's 18 now, and they're poor, so they're going to try and marry her off to this rich guy. But she's having like a secret romance of her own, and there's like this mysterious woman leaving them miniature figures, which was a plot point from the first book. And what does it all mean? I will say that the figurine thing wasn't really like explained, which could be annoying, but oh well. You can like fill in the blanks yourself, I suppose. And book 3 was My Lucky Life by Dick Van Dyke. This is Dick's memoir of how he became an actor in his family life, marriage, kids, etc. I thought it was interesting and a super quick read. And of course there were like pictures, which I like. And now I want to watch more of Dick's movies and TV shows, including the Dick Van Dyke Show, so that's exciting. And now we are in October, so the lights came on in October. So now we are in October. You know what time it is? So right now, for, a spooky book, I'm reading Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. This isn't like that scary. It's about a girl who's going to this like prestigious school, and like once they get there, they're not allowed to leave. They have to like stay in the school for all 3 years of their education. But there's something like weird going on there, like they're doing experiments on the kids. This is like, so far I don't really know like what they're doing, because like it's not mentioned very much, I guess, which is weird, but I guess it's meant to be like confusing. What are they doing to these kids? I don't know. But yeah, it's not very like spooky or anything. It's just weird. But it's good. I feel like I'm flying through it. The writing is very like quick paced, which is something I like a lot. Similarly, I grabbed Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which is about, like, it has a similar plot to Catherine House. Like, there's this girl going to this school that's all like, special, like high up there kind of school, but something weird is happening in the school. I tried to read this sometime like earlier this year, but I couldn't get into it. But since it's like spooky, I wanted to try it again for October. So hopefully this time I can get through it. It's quite long. I also grabbed The Ultimate Jack the Ripper Companion, an illustrated encyclopedia by Stuart P. Evans and Keith Skinner. This is very long, obviously. I'm not gonna read all this. I'm just gonna like kind of like flip through it, because I've always been interested in this case, I guess, and I like historical stuff. So it's gonna be like a flip through kind of book, and it's illustrated, which is interesting. Flipping through it though, doesn't look like there's that many pictures, but I think it says like there's over 100, but I don't really see very many. Here's some here. So that'll be exciting. And then just some non-spooky books. I'm still making my way through The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. This is very long, and I feel like I'm kind of like struggling through it. Like the writing is very not as quick paced. I do think that the plot sounds interesting. There's like there's the plot set in the past in like the 1800s, where like this group of people went to this kind of like mansion during the summer to like just like write and like be literary. And then it's set in the present time too, where this woman is working as like an archivist, and she's like going through all these old papers from that time and like trying to piece together like what happened, because I think it's like a mystery, murder mystery type of thing. I also grabbed Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I wanted to read this during summer because it just looks like a summary book, but oh well. I'm not sure what this is about exactly. I think this is kind of like a murder mystery too. Let me just read about it for a second. So like there's this girl who like I guess she like grew up like kind of feral, like she okay, it says that she survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. So I guess she was like, I don't know, abandoned somehow, and she grew up on her own in the marsh. But it does say that it's a surprising tale of possible murder. So, and a heartbreaking coming-of-age story. And there's two young men from town intrigued by her wild beauty, so it's a romance as well. Sounds like a love triangle. So that sounded good. It sounded summery. Like, just looking at the cover, it just reminds me of summer, so it's probably why I wanted to read it then, but we'll see. I keep getting tangled on the eek. And then the autobiography I grabbed for this month is This Time Together, Laughter and Reflection by Carol Burnett. I think she's really funny, like the Carol Burnett show. I like that a lot. So this is just, I guess, about just like moments in her life, stories from her life. Like a memoir, yeah. So, I bet she's really interesting. So those are the books that I like have with me. I feel like, oh, I'm also trying to make my way through The African Queen still, by C.S. Forester. It's very slow going, even though I like that movie a lot, but the writing is just so dense. But it is a short book, so hopefully I can finish it this month. And then there are like other like spooky ones that I would like to read online. I don't know what they are right now, but I'm gonna try and read some of those too. Oh, like The Bad Seed, and I might go for Jaws, even though that's more summery, but oh well. Oh, I'm also reading one about witches. I forget what it's called. The Secret Circle Part 2. I'm reading the second book in The Secret Circle. I want to read the third book too, so I can finish that series. It's about witches. Yeah, so I think that's all my reading plans and what I read and all that. So let me know what yours are, and I'll see you in the next video.